All right, welcome everyone. Let's see, how is my audio? Just turning this thing on. It's about to start here in a few. I'm hoping the words match my lips. I've been adjusting, always trying different things with lighting, microphone. But anyways, welcome to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. We did this last week. It's every Wednesday at 7. This is the second time I hit the public button. So we will see if people come join us. You'll notice there is an EchoLink node there on the screen. So feel free, grab your phone, grab your tablet, whatever you use to get into EchoLink, and come join us. Come check in and say hi. The idea of this net is throw out your call sign. Let us know what's new, what you're up to, if you have any questions. I don't know what the topic is tonight. Sometimes we come in with a topic. Other times we just kind of let the topic grow and see what's going on. So Carlos should be jumping on here in a few. Also, I wanted to let you know that, a lot of times with EchoLink, if you used it, it announces you on the repeater and it kind of just interrupts. So the way we're doing this is through AllStar, and you don't have to worry about that. In other words, when you join the repeater we're on, you'll be able to just jump in and not have to worry about interrupting. So that's pretty cool. And you could just listen and say hi if you want. And now we wait. So let's see, I've kind of so I've got myself here. Nope, that didn't do anything. Oh, and then we got this. So Carlos should be coming up. Oh, you know what? I got a better picture of Carlos. Let me get Carlos. There he is. There's Carlos. That was there at the Winter Field Day. That was a lot of fun. My audio seems a little low. What's going on, everyone? Jason here, Cam6FAK. Just started the live stream. Carlos, you just getting things ready?
Hey, Jason. Rod here. I haven't heard him on yet.
Hey, Rod. Sounding good. Well, hopefully he didn't get caught in traffic. I wonder, I should probably check the group me and see if he's there.
Thanks for doing that, Jason. KN6BXX standing by.
No such luck. So, Rod, have you heard today? Is there a topic in mind, or are we just going to kind of go for what comes out of it?
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody, I haven't heard Carlos or anybody else mention any specific topic, so I'm guessing not, but I don't know for sure.
Go there to 3-3 and see if he's on his way.
Let's see here. Hey, Rod, one thing that's interesting, someone pointed out last time, there is a delay in your audio. Dang it, I tried to fix that. Thanks, Field Radio. The waterfall display of the repeater, the PL tone almost wavers back and forth, and I don't see it on other repeaters, such as 3.3. It's just a straight line, and on this repeater here, it kind of zigzags a little bit. I thought that was kind of interesting. I have no idea what's that from.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, Jason, but the first time I got on it, there was, the first time that they had it hooked up during the net, I got on, and I noticed that in certain little places here and there it's kind of choppy, but last week it seemed real clean. But it looks like just the delay is about a second or a second and a half through EchoLink. But in terms of the PL tone, I'm not sure what that's about.
PL tone was generated by the transmitting of the signal going into the repeater, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know what the PL tone's all about. It's just Jason was talking about some kind of anomaly he was hearing under, from that. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, what I'm I mean, it could be something else. I have no idea, but I thought if you look at our FM signal on like a scope or a newer radio with a waterfall, you see, each sides of it, and then I thought down the center was the PL tone. I'm really not sure about that, but on our repeater, it kind of moves back and forth, and other repeaters, it's just a solid color.
PL should be generated by the transmitting station and not carried through and come out of the repeater. The PL shouldn't be on the repeater's transmitter.
Hey, can I join the scientist net?
What's up, Mitch?
Okay, good evening, fellas.
Well, now I believe our repeater does spit out a tone. In other words, that's how I filter out other repeaters, that other one that kind of gets in our way. I'm able to utilize the CTCSS, I believe the Yaesu calls it.
Yep, that's a continuous tone. Transmitter, you have to have a PL to open up your receiver. Yeah, it's just the very opposite of how we encode it into a repeater to access the receiver, which in turn hits the transmitter. Yeah, Jason, you got it going on, buddy.
You see me here? How delayed is the audio and the lips? Is this a bad kung fu movie? I try to adjust it.
And the fact that it's Russian instead of English.
Yeah, Jace, I think what you're hearing is latency, and there's no way of getting around it. Same. It's just a timing issue, and we're not in real time. We're going through a server. Their turnaround time is, well, the throughput on that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. I've done this before over at Kevin's, and there's a lot of YouTubers that successfully sync it. I barely have enough internet to get this done, but there is a setting in the software I'm using, OBS, to where I can kind of delay things around. So I thought I had it matched up, but what are you going to do? Carlos, you out there?
Hey, real quick, Jason.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if that's what the issue is, I suspect if Carlos would mention something and anybody wants to support this effort, how could we do that to get our provider for the platform that has been provided to us? And we all know it doesn't come free. How would all of us be able to support that platform to get a faster internet speed? Is there any way we can do all that without exposing all the BS?
Well, what internet speed are you talking about? Because I'm just talking about mine at my house. That's where the delay is. Could be the delay. It also could be my settings.
Okay, well, you would know that better than I would. No, I was trying to hint around that maybe if you could find out what the best provider is near your area, like some fiber from AT&T, maybe we could all help and support. So seriously, I see you laughing, mister. Anyway, that'll bring in Nick, and then that'll give everybody the ability around the planet, whoever wants to come on board and have a bunch of crazy time with us, man. If we get you a solid connection, Jason, Jesus Christ, you know what? That's the best of the best. What do you think?
Yeah, we could talk about that. Hey, so let's see if we can get... Well, first, let me break and see if Carlos is out there. We're just kind of running amok here.
over on 3-3 if you're going to get him.
He knows what time it is. I think he's just being held up. But I'm curious. I'm watching chat, and feel free to join me there. Ham Radio TV on YouTube. So Steve, KE8NKO, go ahead and say hello. This is KM6FAK out here in California. We'll just leave a little room for the EchoLink folks out there.
Hey, this is KE8NKO, Steve in Bay City, Michigan. Just watching you guys on YouTube and figured I'd check in. So good evening to everybody. It's 10 after 10 here, and enjoying this. This is really cool. Back to the net control there. Thanks for letting me in.
N6VLF.
Hey, Kevin. All right, Steve. Yeah, thanks for saying hi. Michigan, how about that? That would be a DX out here on 2 meters, but excellent. Great to hear you. What's going on, Kevin?
Not a whole lot. Just going to say hello and tell you that we can chat about that. What's going on with the PL later. I know the answer, but it's long. It's boring. Doesn't matter anyways. And the latency thing, increasing your internet speed is not going to help it. It's the same issue we had here, but we talk about that later too. And I am checking in on a radioless AllStar node kit with a push-to-talk DTMF microphone tethered to my phone.
Very, very nice. Yeah, so that's Kevin, everyone. If you don't recognize him, he's in the club. He's the El Presidente, and I think he probably has more videos on the channel than I do, but I'm totally fine with that. I have a lot of fun behind the camera.
It's the Michigan station.
So anyways, that's all I got. And anybody who cares, tomorrow night, we are having our club meeting, but the intro is going to be super short, and we're getting right into AllStar, EchoLink, and Fusion stuff, and all the connectivity we got going. And there'll be some demonstration stuff and a couple crude do-it-yourself at-home projects if you choose to do it. Anyways, you guys have fun. I'm going to listen. N6VLF.
Well, this is what I've noticed. I checked in using EchoLink right after it was first put up, and it looked roughly like there was about a 1.5 second delay, and then tonight it looks like it's more like a half a second, so something's gotten a little better since the very first time it was up for a Wednesday night check-in, so that's good, Kevin. Something's gone on. I don't know if you guys made any changes or not, but it's definitely less delay.
Yeah, it's hard to know, but there's a lot of latency in the connection. And really what's happening is Jason is looking directly at the repeater, hearing the audio direct from the repeater, and then hearing you guys, and he's getting some serious internet latency, which I'm not sure what the solution is. But anyways, you guys are sounding good. Just don't worry about it tonight. Push the button a little slow and have fun. N6VLF.
Anybody else out there in the YouTube land via EchoLink want to say hello? Just jump on in. I'm expecting Carlos soon, although I'm starting to get concerned. Anybody have his personal number? But go ahead, EchoLink. Anyone out there? KM6FAK.
And where in Michigan the station was?
Yeah.
Yes, Jim, we had a station check-in from Michigan. His name's Steve, KE8NKO. Let's give it to Mike. Mike Rob, 2 first names. KD2SXD. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is KD2SXD Kilo Delta Sierra X-Ray Delta checking in for the first time on EchoLink from Jacksonville, Florida. Good evening to all my West Coast people. I have nothing else to report. Back to you at control.
All right, very good. Nice to hear you all the way to Florida. Yeah, one thing I'm noticing a little bit, a few of the folks out there, I think there's an echo because you might be having the YouTube stream up as well as EchoLink. So just watch out for that as you hit transmit. Just try to mute the other speaker. Not a big deal. I'm over here looking like a kung fu movie, but hey, there is the word amateur in our hobby, so, you know, it only gets better from here.
KI5 FME, Andrew, Texas. Checking in.
Gotcha, Andrew. Very nice. You're sounding good. And, you know, one thing I should be asking everyone is are you utilizing a phone or a tablet? I know EchoLink goes on a computer, but it seems like a lot of people just use their portable devices. So much more convenient. And then there is also a AllStar node. I don't have that, so that doesn't help. Maybe Kevin can give that to us here in a little bit.
Yeah, I just use EchoLink on my cell phone. KI5 FME. KENKO. Sorry to break in there, but I just use EchoLink on my phone or my tablet, and this is maybe about the 3rd or 4th time I've used it. I got a buddy in California that I talk to once in a while on here, but other than that, this is only 2nd or 3rd time I've ever used it, and it's actually pretty cool. Back to the net control.
Excellent. Yeah. What's really incredible is either with EchoLink or AllStar, and that's the magic that's making all this work. Really, is I'm here in my garage with a sheet that I did not iron, but you know, I'm here on my radio on a local repeater, and recently a couple of the guys, they've really been getting into AllStar. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about that at our next meeting. You know, typically start with a Raspberry Pi, build from there. You can also do it on a PC, and then my friend Mike also mentioned you can do a virtual computer. In other words, you can log in and build this Raspberry Pi, or it's not, obviously it's not a Raspberry Pi, but build a virtual node for AllStar and operate it that way. So, I mean, that blows my mind. But anyways, both Mike and Kevin have already gotten back to me. So if anyone can check into AllStar, the node is 51010. So 51010 for AllStar. And what really blows me away every year, I feel like digital is getting more and more popular. AllStar, you can't tell. I can't tell. Everyone might be on their cell phones or what have you. It sounds fantastic. You know, and that's huge. You know, if you guys have used DMR or the Yaesu Fusion, you can hear a little bit something in there. But all right, so let me see if Carlos is out there yet. Carlos, how copy? Is it KM6FAK?
And we just checked over on 3-3. He's not responding over there either.
All right, thank you for that. All right, well, no big deal. We'll keep having fun. I don't have, I'm not taking any notes, unfortunately, but it is all recording on YouTube. So I guess let's just start grabbing some more check-ins. We already got a handful through EchoLink, and I have an idea. So first, let's get the RF stations out there checked in, because then they can kind of come quick, and then we'll go to an EchoLink check-in, and that'll allow, a pause a little bit more in between for stations to break in. So RF stations out there, go ahead and check in.
KM6WNU. KN6BXX, Michael.
All right, got you guys. Any more?
KM6YKX.
Sounding good, Rob?
W6LEE.
How's it going there, Joshua?
This is Kilo Foxtrot 6, Hotel, Dan and Woodland.
All right, doing good in Woodland. That's a hard reach with an HT. I was there this weekend for a soccer tournament. Who else is out there on their radio? Go ahead.
KM6WNU, Steve, Clear Lake.
All right, making the trip from Clear Lake. Good to hear you, Steve. Ooh, I think I doubled. Next check-in. All right, so at this point, let's switch over and grab some EchoLinks. We got a handful already, and feel free. We'll come back around a little bit and see what's going on with everyone. But any people that just joined us via EchoLink, come now.
KN6DAL EchoLink Everett.
Hey, great to hear you, Nick. Thanks for checking in. Next EchoLink check-in. Go ahead. Or AllStar. I don't want to, separate anyone here. I can't tell the difference. Oh, I stepped on him. I stepped on that station. Go ahead, please. Sorry. Boy, it's tricky. It's tricky.
KM6 HLJ. This is Bert from Fairfield.
Okay, I think it was Gary in Fairfield. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, so I would assume you could probably hit our repeater, but yeah, thanks for checking in. The audio was there, but I just want to let you know the other EchoLink have been a little stronger, so not sure what's going on, but I just want to give you that feedback. Not a problem. Nice to hear you. Next EchoLink, go ahead.
This is Dar from the hills in Sebastopol, coming in on an iPhone.
All right. Looks like Rod has a neighbor up there. Yeah. Good to hear you. And that audio sounded great. So it's just remarkable. You could be on a radio we would never tell. Thanks for checking in. Next station out there on EchoLink. Go ahead.
KE8 and KO Stephen Bay City rechecking in. I just had a no timeout on my end.
Okay, good call. That's interesting. Yeah, I think there might be a number, but I don't know what that number is, how many people we can have all at the same time. But good to hear you. Thanks for checking in. Looks like someone in the YouTube chat had... They said they can hear us in Manteca over the air. So that's a pretty good haul from here. All right, so let's see who else is out there on EchoLink. Go ahead.
KG6AUB checking in EchoLink.
Sounding good. Thanks for checking in. And for those that are just joining us, this is KM6FAK. Name here is Jason. And we are on the Whiskey 6 VVR repeater here in Vacaville, which is Northern California, recently a new edition of the AllStar was put in, and that's how we're doing EchoLink. So just kind of having fun tonight. Go ahead, next station.
All right, well, I'll check in. This is Mike, call sign WG5EEK. Just got off the phone with Carlos a few minutes ago. He was running late on a meeting. He's not going to make the net tonight. He suggested that we can talk about the 2-meter band plan, and I think that's a pretty good idea considering that a lot of people here are the 2-meter crew.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for that update. Boy, I was not prepared for that. But would anyone like to volunteer to talk about that band plan?
I will do it. I will volunteer.
Thank you, Rob.
I just need a minute, and then I will do it.
Perfect. Well, Rob, we will easily give you that minute because right now what we can do is we kind of like to check in with everyone. Now, Carlos normally does a great job and keep notes with everyone, and it's really nice to kind of go back to the individuals that checked in. But I just kind of want to open the floor. If you got a question or a comment or maybe a future topic you want to talk about, just throw out your call sign and let us know what you got.
Whiskey 6 CRP.
Oh, you're in trouble, mister? Good to hear you, Carlos. Long day at the office, huh?
No, my sincere apologies. I actually had a meeting afterward that I had no idea that would run this long, and it ran quite a bit over. So I am sorry I didn't set this up beforehand, but it sounds like you guys are moving through it. Please carry on. I'm mobile, and I don't know how good my signal will be.
Alrighty, not a problem. No problem at all. Yeah, at 7 sharp, I hit the record button, and I just figured I'd fill the blank air, and I guess somehow I'm sitting here in net control. So right now we're looking for anyone with something new they've done in amateur radio they'd like to share with us. Even a long distance contact, and that could be a few states over. I remember, and we just had this conversation locally. I remember when I was first starting to get on HF just 2 years ago, inverted V off the chimney, 100 watts, and I got into Florida on 20 meters. It was a Saturday afternoon, which is a great situation. Weekends, there's a lot of people on HF. Afternoon, obviously, 20 meters. And I hopped out of my seat, ran in, I told my wife. She could care less. But that was exciting for me. Way cool. So, by no means, there's no measure of your success as long as you're happy with it. So, let us know. Go ahead, please chime in.
KN6DAL, I'll see if I have it here.
You've got it. You've got it, Nick. Go. I'm not keying up right now.
Nick, all the way up in northern continental United States?
Make contact with Rob there up in Auburn, KM6YKX, and Mitch, WU1Q, on HF from an 80-meter dipole that I strung out kind of chaotically on a fence line about 6 foot above my above the ground here, and so I didn't have a very optimal antenna setup, but I was able to make contact with them. That was about a 900-mile HF contact on the upper end of 80 meters, so that was pretty exciting. So I'll just throw that out there. That was my win for ham radio for the week, and I came in and told my wife all about it and how excited I was that I was able to get back down there and talk. So that was pretty exciting for me. Not the longest contact by any means that I've ever made, but for the circumstances that I had, pretty neat. So back to you, Jason. Thanks for jumping in on the net. KN6DAL.
Awesome. Great to hear. Yeah, it's man, that's one thing. You just never know. You just never know if it's going to work, how far you're going to get, and I think that's part of the magic. So, those that are not quite general, or maybe they are and they haven't put any antennas up yet, I can't recommend it enough, because obviously with a repeater, if you're new, I'm guilty. You're going to ka-chunk the repeater. You're going to know it's working. With HF, you have no idea. You key up, you get nothing in return. The only thing you could probably use is a web SDR, which is a great tool. So next station out there, let us know what's new, what's your question, what's going on.
6BXX, good evening, Jason. Thanks for stepping in. You're doing a very good job, I'd say. We're proud of you.
Oh, shucks, Michael. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All the rest of the RF check-ins?
CWS.
All right, got you in there, Clint. Good to hear you. And yeah, RF check-in. Go ahead.
Cliff. CLIFF.
Okay, Cliff. Thank you.
6BXX, question, or, well, maybe it's a question.
Yeah, what do you got, Michael?
You guys know my first phrase is my Baofeng, 8-watt dual bander. The question I have, when it comes to sensitivity, anyone's had any comparison experiences with Baofeng HTs versus Yaesu or ICOM HTs with the same antennas? Have anyone had any different experiences? Starting to wonder if I should get another HT in the near future.
Oh, man. That is something I actually am brewing a little in my head to point that out and make a video of. I mean, nothing wrong with Baofengs. I got a few laying around here. But yeah, you're walking around your house, you're going somewhere, you're going to notice that front end just randomly opens up with static crashes. It could be when you flip on your fluorescent lights in your garage, or who knows what it's picking up. Absolutely. That is the quality of the radio. And getting a Yaesu, Kenwood, ICOM, some of these bigger named, it is definitely going to have the, I want to say the selectivity. The sensitivity is about the same, but the selectivity, I think, is really what separates it, and the front end just ignores all of that kind of crashing. I don't know how else to put it, but that's what I'm going to say, because that's what it kind of sounds like. So, yeah, good point, Michael. I think you would be very happy, more successful in not having that with one of those top 3 radios. Anyone else? Go ahead. Let's open the floor and talk about this for a second with the Baofengs.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, okay, so I just bought 2 more of the ones that I have, and I have destroyed one, and I've destroyed the Bluetooth thing that goes with them, and I'm still pressing forward because the way I look at these little things they're disposable. So depends on how you're gonna ride them, right? If you're not hard on them, you could maybe make them last for a while, but yeah, they're kind of pieces of junk. They work.
Now he's clear.
But they die easily, and so that's what I'm going to say. Cam6, YKX, Rob in Auburn, and yeah, if you're just a guy that's doing stuff, the monobanders or the dual banders, they're not really that much more for Yaesu or ICOM or something like that.
Yeah, good info, Rob. Rob, I'm guessing that radio you're on, you're giving it all you got. At times you're clear as a bell, but there is a decent amount of static, so I just wanted to let you know. You don't sound as good as you could. I know, Rob. Now he's probably running to go get on his ICOM. Different antenna, more power. Sometimes sometimes weird crackling is out there. I have noticed that. We recently had a pretty good windstorm, so who knows what's going on. All right, so anyone else have thoughts about the Baofeng, the experience, these static crashes? One thing I've noticed is it depends on your frequency. What frequency you're on. You know, obviously you're listening to your repeaters or your simplex, and that can make a difference too.
One more thing, Jason, a question regarding mobile use.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I mean, basically, whether it's my Nissan Sentra or my RAV4, I usually use a mag mount, either the old 5/8 wave or the quarter wave Comet, which is brand new or fairly new. The thing is, the challenge for me is when I go down the road, I picket fence like crazy. I picket fence, and on, you know, and I got the squelch down to a bare minimum on my Baofeng. The question I have is there a chance of less picket fencing on other radios besides Baofeng? Will I get better receptive quality? That's the question I'm wondering about.
Yeah, okay. So your reception. I mean, I definitely don't know the answer, but I'd like to think a radio that approaches $100 is going to be better in a lot of different ways. But then also look at the type of antenna. Sounds like you're on a mag mount. And then the type of coax. You know, there's different mag mounts, different coaxes they put on there. What antenna is on there? And, you know, and when we're talking about receiving, obviously we can't talk about what the handheld wattage would be outputting. So that's a good question. I mean, for me, I can say my car, I'm running a diamond mag mount. It's flat like a pancake, and a diamond antenna, dual band. And receiving from where I work in Pittsburgh to where I live in Vacaville, it's an hour drive. It's solid copy all the way from, you know, the Mount Diablo repeater or Mount Vaca repeater. So it probably obviously would have to do more with terrain too. When you get a lot of dirt in the way, VHF, UHF doesn't like it. I heard info. Go ahead.
The reason why your Baofeng is picket fencing is not because of the reception. It's because of the static that's being generated by the antenna in the vehicle. That seems to be prone to the Baofeng. Change the radio to an ICOM or one of the other big names, and most of that will go away.
I appreciate that. That's just answered my question. I figured, you know, the Baofeng was great entry level to start my hobby. Just bought it before I got my license, almost 9 months ago. It's hard to believe, but yeah. Well, I think down the road I'll probably go in. Who knows? Maybe I can find some of the swap meet. But I'm looking towards just a good basic dual band Yaesu, not the DMR, just a good basic FM rig. But I appreciate you guys. I think you've answered my questions so far. So that's appreciated. Thanks, Jason, for letting me step in. Can't expect X. And once again, thanks for stepping inside. Carlos, drive safely.
Yeah, very good. Good points. These definitely are hurdles that are bothersome, and it's nice to get to the bottom. So does anyone else have any comments or question? If not, we'll see if Rob is ready with maybe a little bit more oomph.
Have more oomph?
There he is. Yeah, he's on his ICOM. I can tell. All right. Well, we'll circle back around here, but let's see what Rob has to say about the band plan. I'm curious. So we'll give it over to him. This is KM6FAK on the Whiskey 6 VVR repeater and EchoLink. Over to you, Rob.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, so this is Rob in Auburn, California, 90 miles from the repeater. Even though it's on Mount Vaca, it's still, I don't know. I haven't measured it exactly, but it's far. So, you know, a lot of people don't know. They get on AM radio. I didn't know. And then I found out there's a band plan. There's a band plan for 440. There's a band plan for 2 meter. And by the way, 440, maybe we can talk about that later. But, you know, the 440 band plan, I went going to talk about it now. I'm just going to say, be careful about transmitting a lot of power on 440 because you might mess with our national defense. Beale Air Force Base, PAVE pause radar, it's our early warning system for missiles. Don't interfere with that on 440. Don't broadcast a lot of power on 440. Okay, so Northern California 2-meter band plan. You can Google this. I was trying to get it, and hopefully Jason already got it up on his, live stream or whatever. But I got a nice little chart here, and it has this whole little graphic that shows from 148 all the way down to 144, and it shows where we're supposed to be. Drop. Okay, so, everybody, you start out, you start doing some, talking on repeaters and stuff, and that's all cool and everything, and everybody's down with that. And then, but did you know that on simplex, like everybody knows 520, but did you know that 520, there's a whole bunch of like little channelized frequencies, that apparently we're supposed to talk on. So that's just something to think about, right? There's 5.2, which is calling, and then you're supposed to kind of switch off of that, and then there's 14615, 14630, 1465445, 14640. Anyway, there's all these things. So there's like this little graphic that, it's just like a thing. And like last week's thing, drop. Was all about that, and it was about where do you go, because 520 might get busy, so where do you go? So anyway, I'm hoping, Jason, that you have this graphic, and you can put it up on your little
working on it, Rob,
on your screen, and it's very color coded, and it has the differences between simplex and single sideband and all the kind of things. And for instance, single sideband, we all go to 14452, but you can slide down a little bit to one, to wherever, that's what I'm saying. All right, so you got to figure out where you're going to go, and that was part of last week's discussion, and where you're going to go. So check out, if you haven't seen it, the Northern California 2-meter band plan, and that's something that everybody needs to know. All right, I'm out, or I'm listening. KM6YKX.
Just got it up.
Go ahead, comment. My wife just pulled into the garage, so I'll listen like everybody else is.
Rob, great presentation. Yeah, I think if you quoted from NARCC, Northern Amateur Radio Council of California, I went ahead and downloaded and printed out and put on my bulletin board the Northern California 2-meter band plan. So it has pretty much good detail on where the repeater frequency allocations, input, output, sideband, and also the simplex. I got a list of simplex channels, FM as well. So yeah, definitely some stuff out there, Rob. But it's a great presentation, as always. And you did a good job on the eyes thing last week. So kudos to you, man. KN6BXX.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
Yeah, KN6DAL. I just wanted to kind of mention in reference to what you were talking about the call-out frequency versus switching to another frequency to continue the communication. And there's a simplex net that they do up north here in Washington that they actually hold on 146550 to specifically avoid the calling frequency. So we follow that same premise of the band plan, using the calling frequency to make your initial contact and then moving. But it's kind of cool. They hold a simplex net where they use relay stations throughout the region. So it's a really vast kind of relay system. So it stretches really, really far. And I just thought that was kind of neat, so I figured I'd throw that out there. KN6DA.
All right, so Rob, you mentioned the Northern California or California band plan. Would I assume there's other states that have band plans as well? Because, I mean, so far tonight we've definitely heard from a handful of folks that are not in California.
Now you're totally getting out of my wheelhouse, but, I think it's just a matter of, that's the thing, like being aware that there may be a plan, and that's super cool that Nick came in, and there's a plan up there, there's a plan everywhere, and, let's go to 520, and then, guess what? There's a couple channels above that you can check out, and you can go down there and call people and then make them go up, or it's like that with most of the bands, even the HF bands. So that's just throwing out the knowledge.
For Rob.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm not an Elmer. I'm just a guy.
Two questions real quick. One is there a simplex frequency for people on the road mobile on 2 meters? And also, is there a frequency for CW on 2 meters?
Well, for sure, 520 is the calling frequency on 2 meters, period. And as far as CW, I don't know. There's got to be some other guys out here who could answer that. I am not a chicken walker. I would like to be, but I don't know if I have the time to do that.
Are you a gerbil?
But, anyway, yeah, so there you go there.
Sideband portion, K6FX.
I have it. On ARRL website, there's actually a 2-meter band plan that also discusses, and I believe this is nationally, it talks about what specific portions of the band are allocated for repeater use. And you can actually see that, like on my radio, on my Yaesu 8800, if I'm just scanning, it'll automatically put in a negative offset or a positive offset, and even search a PL tone once it lands on a frequency that has some sort of output where I'm receiving something. So if I'm just scanning, I can automatically program a repeater, and then it'll pull that offset off when I hit the portion of the band that's designated only for simplex use. And that's in the lower portion of the band, where a lot of people use it for digital modes and data and things like that. And then also the area surrounding the 146520. KN6DA, I'll be quiet.
Good stuff, Nick.
God,
Thanks.
you become a monster.
Yeah, one thing I would say is, driving around a little bit. Family and I like to do a little bit of RVing. I mean, what better to have a dual VFO radio, and on one side have the calling frequency, 146520. The only thing I'm missing is that sticker, that bumper sticker I've seen people have. It's pretty cool. Let people know you're there. But and then of course either find some local repeaters as you're cruising, or sometimes I'll just scan the frequencies, because we'll go several states away and I don't got time to look for repeaters. that can be daunting. And then no one's there, dead repeaters. Alrighty. So any more comments about the band plan, 2 meter or any band plan.
So I would just throw one more thing out there. Something cool that happened to me today. You know, okay, so we got the band plan. I'm just going to regroup this. Got the band plan, and, you know, everybody can go look it up. And there's a simplex part, there's a repeat part, and there's a, you know, weak signal, which is, you know, a single sideband. But today, because I had the day off, one of the guys that's in the local club, who's a like super cool guy with the airplanes and stuff like that, he was flying. So I was talking to him aeronautical as he was flying to Southern California, and you know, whatever radio he had APRS, which is like a little GPS thing or whatever, and it was cool because a lot of people were like, "Oh, I can see you. Yeah, you're moving here and everywhere." And he got pretty far south before we couldn't get him anymore. And anyway, this radio stuff is pretty cool, and I could quit anytime I want.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, right on. I want to apologize for everyone that is trying to do the EchoLink. It looks like it's dropping, it's bugging. You know, the only thing I can think of is we must be hitting it fairly hard. I don't know how many users are out there because I mentioned it before. It doesn't announce you. I think that's so sweet. And I've got some of my back office, you know, my IT guys, it seems. They've been watching the EchoLinks and the nodes, and those have been holding good. So it'll be kind of exciting to learn more about this AllStar system, because that will allow you to connect to things like EchoLink and other AllStar nodes. And that's actually coming up at our meeting this Thursday, which is tomorrow. And for those that can't make it, I'll be recording it, of course, and getting it out there. So my apologies. It's a bummer when this cool technology fails us, but here we are. Analog RF is holding up strong.
Jason, I've got a comment for you.
Go ahead, GM.
We're saying about 5.2. 5.2 is the national calling, and so far I've found most of the time when you're mobile, traveling down the road, and another ham is traveling, you usually listen on 5.2, make a call. But 5.5 and 5.7 are the other two frequencies that seem to be used for simplex and traveling, as the gen up there in Washington found. They use 5.5 for their local area simplex. There's a lot of activity here on 5.5 and 5.7 also, but a lot of it on 5.7 is the truckers and mobile people that are traveling through the area, and it's very interesting to hear some of their conversations. Anyway, just some information for you.
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I get that you don't necessarily want to tie up the calling frequency, so if you're going to be chatting amongst your friends for a while, you know, maybe establish you know, who's out there, establish the QSO, and then move on to those other ones, so then you can kind of be free and clear. I mean, that does make sense. For instance, recently we did the Winter Field Day, and right there in the rules, it asked for you to not stay on the national calling frequency. But it wasn't a rule. It didn't say you couldn't use it. It just, they asked you, you know, not to sit there all day and just take it up. Because, yeah, it'd be kind of like, it reminds me of Channel 19 back in the CB days, right? A lot of CBs had that switch. You could quick flip it over to 19 or 9. And, you know, if you really needed help, you could get there and call out. And, well, who knows if anyone would hear you, right? The CB was always challenging for me. But I am young, and I missed the skip years. I don't know, maybe 90s, 80s, 70s. Wasn't there. Again, this is KM6FAK Looks like we're getting reports of a little choppy internet. All right, well, I'm going to have a conversation with my CFO, my wife. We'll see what we can't do, because it looks like people are enjoying themselves. We've been holding people's attention for the most part, and people are chatting away in the chat room there, so that's always fun. Feel free to join that on YouTube under Ham Radio TV, and I think you do need a username. You need to be logged in, little info to Google, and you can chat away. I am keeping my eye on that. Mitch is saying audio is good. Was a little choppy a moment ago. So all right, let me open this up and see what else is out there, what is on people's minds.
Just saying, they got you on Simplex.
Ah, very good, Rob. Yeah, Rob is we should say that. This has kind of been a 2-meter theme tonight. A lot of radios, even the Baofangs, have a reverse button. And if you've not heard of this, look it up, hit your manual, check out online. And the idea is when you're hearing people, and this would be if you're on a repeater, hearing people on a repeater, and you're curious, I wonder if we could talk to each other simplex and not need this repeater. You would simply just tap that reverse button. And what that does is that flips you over to the input channel of that repeater. And then you can kind of get an idea whether or not you're going to be able to hear them, maybe how low their little S meter is. A lot of radios will have some kind of bar graph to show you there. But one thing I will let you know is if you're using your PL tone on, I'm going to call it in and out, CTCSE. In other words, you're encoding your signal to the repeater, but you're also decoding it so you don't hear other repeaters. If that's still on and you hit, wait, hold on a minute. I think I'm getting this confused. I've had it where it didn't work, but now I'm thinking about it. They should still have a PL. So if the PL is the same, that should work. So I retract that statement. I'll rethink about that. Alrighty. Let me open this up to anyone else.
Hey, KN6VIL, Jason, when you record that video of your club meeting in regards to AllStar notes, when do you think that will be available on your YouTube channel to view?
Whew, putting some pressure on. I hear you, Nick. Wish you could come to the meeting. A month, it's tricky. Got 2 kids, wife, all that jazz. Everyone else has got a lot of stuff going on too. But maybe within a month. I might even put that before the previous presentation. I'm still working on an SDR presentation that Mike did, WG5EEK. He's in the chat there, which was a lot of fun. Little $30 dongle, plug it into your computer. You can listen to all sorts of stuff, from HF to VHF to police scanners to trunking stuff. $500 scanners you can do for $30. So I captured that recording. Then we had Winter Field Day. I'm babbling. Maybe a month or so, Nick. Hopefully.
Copy that. I don't know how well my patience holds out, but I'll try. Okay. If you find out any information on links to more info about that or anything, I'd be very interested, because I'm kind of pursuing that path of getting my ducks in a row on getting Raspberry Pi, and then I need to understand more about how to build that. I have a radio, but I don't know if it's able to be really used for what I need it for, and I'm just kind of trying to gather more info on that, because I think I'm going to dive down that path and build one and see where it lands. So the more information I can get, the better, and you can always post that on GroupMe to me or in the whole group or whatever, but I'm definitely interested, so let me know what you find out. KN6BAL.
You gave me a few ideas there when you are looking for information, and I'm sure a lot of people are. We have a website with our club, I know Rod has a 2 Meter Crew website. You know, a lot of these presentations, PowerPoint slideshows are being put together. So I'm thinking it'd be pretty quick to get that to a website to where you could click a PDF. I don't know if a PowerPoint would really work on a website, but where we could put some of these meetings, and that would be within the same week. You could go look at some of these presentations, because I don't mean to brag, but I think we've got the best meetings, and as Kevin says, in our zip code. No, I think we've got fantastic meetings. I don't know what it's like elsewhere for other people. You know, we're here about 100,000 people in this city. The next city has that many, if not more. And it is something. I mean, it's so nice to have just presentations and a lot of fun. Very little business. So right on. All right, what else is on people's mind? Again, this is KM6FAK on the Whiskey 6 VVR repeater. We are approaching an hour. I don't want to drag it too long, but it looks like we got about 28 people watching, so we'll see what we want to chat about next.
Hey, Jason, this is AK6TKS. I was on the YouTube channel watching your stream, and then I switched over to EchoLink. That was working okay, and then now here I am in the mobile trying to see if I can hit this repeater for the first time. I'm in Lake County. How am I coming through?
Yeah, you're sounding really good. So that's 3 different things. I think they call that a hat trick. Yeah, go ahead. Good signal.
Thank you very much for the signal report. Really appreciate you streaming and just kind of reaching out, and you make a good target for a lot of people to zoom in on, and a good lightning rod for a conversation. Really appreciate you out there, always working hard, and I don't know how you do it, and this is the busiest guy, on the radio probably, I don't know. So thanks a lot, and it's good to hear you.
Excellent. Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Yeah, I sometimes wonder if people are even interested what we're doing, what I'm doing, that kind of thing. And my buddy Kevin, he always told me, if you want something done, you got to ask someone busy to do it. And so here I am. I got one kid. Oh, let me switch this over here. I got one kid doing gymnastics. I got another kid playing indoor soccer. I asked the wife. I asked some friends. I said, hey, Wednesdays are kind of like the thing here. Even though I know people over on the East Coast, it's getting a little late for them on a work night. But, when it's fun, it does not feel like work. All right, let's see. Who else is out there tonight?
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead. Comment.
Yeah, hey, KM6YKX. We did this before, so I don't want to, spoil the party. But, after this party, is there going to be an HF party? Little 80 meters or, like Ted always says, we could try some local simplex or sideband or, that's always kind of a cool part of this little evolution.
I like what you're laying down there, Rob. No, that does sound a lot of fun. I can't promise anything right now. Kiddos will be home soon, and my alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. So I do have to put in 2 more days, and then I'm going to enjoy President's Day and the whole week there after that. So I don't know if I'll be around, but there's a lot of people out here listening, so you just might find some people. Maybe we'll start on the national call frequency and see who we can stir up and see maybe what is going on as far as HF, or just stay here on the repeater for that matter. And, that's one good thing. I mean, I wish it was like a Friday or Saturday, because with EchoLink, you could easily be on a repeater, coordinate somewhere you want to go try to meet up with people on HF. Because one thing I found is you can hear more stations than you can either see on a fish finder or notice if you're just scrolling too fast on that big, beautiful knob they give you. So it is sometimes pretty neat to have that frequency. So good call. If you got any places you want to meet people, throw it out there. Let me know.
KE8NKO with the comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was not a comment, it was a question. Is there a DMR talk group that you guys use up there? I've got a lot programmed into my DMR radio, but if there's one that you guys frequent up there, if you use it at all, which one would it be? Preferably Brandmeister or TGIF.
Ah, yes, the DMR. So a few people on a neighboring repeater here talk about DMR. I think there's something sitting on Mount Diablo, but I don't have anything DMR. And let's open it up here. I was going to say, let's open it up to the callers and see who else knows about DMR. And for that matter, with DMR, you could pick anywhere. If you got it, you can go. So let's go. Let's see. Go ahead, anyone out there on DMR. What are your suggestions or what do you got? And thank you, Jennifer. She says she loves this mic. I think she might know where this microphone came from. That's good stuff. Alrighty. I hear family coming home here. Didn't hear anybody on DMR, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm just not down with DMR yet. It has been on some people's mind, but I think a lot of people get confused because they're like, okay, do we do DMR? Do we do the Yaesu Fusion? Do we do D-Star? And then recently we came out of Left Wing, it kind of feels like, and we kind of jumped on this AllStar thing. So that's pretty exciting, especially since it works with just your standard analog repeater.
Here's the next tech topic, right? You know, what digital radio do you buy? You know, X-Wires, Fusion, DMR, I don't know. See, I don't know that, so let's figure that out. Let's have that be our next topic, and people who do that can school us and tell us where we need to be.
For Jason.
Okay, Rob. Yeah, I feel like we almost need some kind of poll to really understand. I mean, it's probably comes down to what are you going to drive, a Chevy, a Ford, a Dodge? But no, that's pretty interesting. Go ahead, GM. I think I heard you in there.
Going back to 2 meters, you know, there's many different types of antennas for mobile work. Which one do you recommend?
Oh, wow. I only really have ever had one, and that's the Diamond. I have to look at my purchase history to see what it is, but it's the Diamond dual band. It has this, I'm trying to remember what the term is. It's like a virtual radial ground, so you don't need any kind of ground, which is way cool because I screw it on my aluminum RV's ladder, which is not attached to the frame at all, and it works fantastic. Good SWR and all that. So, you know, I could only say go with a Diamond or go with a name brand and spend maybe $50 to $100. I think you're going to get something really solid.
Okay, but do we go quarter wave or 5/8 wave or half wave or what?
Oh, well, again, I've only ever ran one, but I think, you know, if you're just working repeaters, you could get away with something short and something you can get into your drive-thrus or parking garages. But if you really want to work those, you know, far out stations on simplex and all that, you know, I'm thinking it's fairly obvious. Longer is going to be better. So it'll just depend on what you're trying to do with it. One guy I know, Will, my friend here in town, he got this little snub nose. It's so small, but it works great just to grab the repeaters. So at that point, he doesn't even look like he has anything on his car. think that was you there, Rob.
Yep, I'll just tell you that I know for sure, based on my experience here in Auburn, 90 miles away from the repeater, that a 5/8 whip, 5/8 2-meter whip works great into the repeater, and then if I switch to a dual bander, that thing is not as good. However, you know, there's mixed results. A lot of people say better on 440, so, you know, mixed results.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rob. You know, I'm sure as you introduce a dual band, a tri-band, even a quad band, I recently heard a guy come on 3.3. He was talking about he just got the 8900, and I think it's Diamond makes an 8900 antenna quad band. But yeah, I would assume as you add more bands, it could be somewhat compromised. You could lose that gain possibly. Again, speculation. Haven't had a bunch in my hand, haven't stuck a bunch of analyzers on them, but just kind of connecting the dots at this point.
In 6 billion.
Hey, Kevin, go ahead.
Well, it's a quick comment. You guys asked about different antennas on your mobiles. I guess part of it's depending on what you want to do. For example, a quarter wave whip. Let's just use 2 meters. 2 meters as an example because 2-meter crew, and a lot of people use that. Well, if you're primarily trying to operate the repeaters that are on top of the hills or the mountains or, you know, up high, you know, and you're just driving around your area, the quarter wave antenna is properly installed, works quite well, and the radiation pattern of that, it gets you more energy coming up off the top of your vehicle to get to the top of the mountain. Matter of fact, if you noticed, let me let it drop. If you noticed, most of the patrol cars, if not all of them, they have typically quarter wavelength stubs for VHF and UHF, so that they radiate in such a manner that it gets to the repeaters that are within a reasonable distance of their area, which that same is applicable to ham radio operators. Now, if you live far away from the repeater, and you do not have a hill in between you, and you need to gain, then you might consider going to a half wave or a 5/8 wave type antenna. Keep in mind, it's not amplifying your power; it's squashing the radiation pattern. It's elongating it, and it's concentrating the energy in a particular path. So let's say you had a 5/8 gain antenna that was squashing energy. It was coming out at a kind of a horizontal axis. I don't know how many degrees. Let's make it up and say it's just a couple degrees takeoff angle, and you're trying to get into a repeater, and it's on top of this 1,000, 2,000 foot hill, and they say you're a little scratchy. Well, maybe because all your energy is going into the side of the hill, and then you swap your antenna out, you put a quarter wave stick on there, and all of a sudden you sound good. So it's you know, around here, kind of get away with almost anything, as long as it's installed correctly. But that's the real difference. It's what do you need it for? And we can talk more about that later. Anyways, just a thought. In 6 VLF.
I like it. Yeah, good thought. No, and that's a good question. I mean, you know, recently I heard the let me see here. I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff. Recently, the Benicia, a local club, I think they got 90-some people licensed to a test. So I would only assume in the next coming weeks, as they get their call signs, they get their radios, they're going to be on the air. And that definitely is a question that comes up. It's like, okay, well, I only want to buy something once. I only have X amount of dollars. What is the best radio? What is the best antenna? And I smile a bit because our friend Rob always likes to throw that out there.
I was just I was waiting for that. Well, Sebastian,
Yes, Rob, that was for you.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
KN6, HLJ. I'm one of the actually 90 people who just passed the Benicia test. I got my call sign last Friday.
Hey, that's fantastic. Great to have you on board. How about that? Yeah, so do you find yourself having some of these same questions?
Very much so. I just bought the, what's it called, the Yaesu FT-991A, like a package, but I don't have any coax or anything, so.
Okay, yeah, that's a great radio. And what kind of antenna do you think you're going to run with it?
I think it comes with like some diamond antenna. I don't know the exact numbers or anything like that. But I got that and the power supply and the radio.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have the same radio, an 8900. I actually did a few videos on that on the YouTube channel, and I really enjoy it. It's a great radio for the car. It comes with a removable face, a mounting kit. Icon makes you buy it separately. And recently I heard, I think it was Will, I saw someone, or maybe it was my friend Mike. They were talking about Yaesu is going to be discontinuing it. So, you know, what the supplies are out there, that's going to be it. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what else they have, or obviously the 400 by Yaesu is a beautiful radio, and it does, I think, just about all of the features except the quad band. But I don't find myself on 6 meter, 10 meter a whole lot, being it is just a FM.
Question for Kevin.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sure he's still out here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
My antenna from HRO or one of the other suppliers, it comes with about 12 feet of coax, but I only need to go about 3 feet. What am I supposed to do with the excess coax? Cut it off and put the plug on? Or do I curl it up and bow tie it, or what do I do with it?
You know, Jim, that's a great question. Why don't you elaborate on what you would do with it?
choke it out.
I'm asking the question, but if I was going to do it, I think I would coil it up and maybe use wire ties to, you know, keep it all together. But cutting it off, I don't think that's a good idea.
Diameter would you choke it out at?
I would probably go something about 4 to 6 inches in diameter.
Is that called an air choke?
How many people are doing this right now?
People might want to know about.
No, you're not actually doing any choking with it. You're just keeping it, you know, in a radius that the coax cable likes, as well as your length has been determined by the manufacturer.
Okay, I thought you were talking about air choke. That's something, that would be a good topic.
RF choke. I thought you were supposed to, you know, spread it out and kind of, even if you had to zigzag it, like, say, across the floor of your car, you know, just to keep it from being coiled up. I might be wrong. I'm still kind of green, so don't take my word for law. KI5 FME.
KI5, wow, welcome. That must be not around here.
Oh, dear Lord. And zigzag it if you'd like, or anything else. The coil's just a more convenient way to keep it all in one place.
Yeah, that's a good. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, that's a great comment. I'm reading a few comments in chat. People are like, "Hey, don't you want to keep it short? reduce the loss, as a lot of times the coax that comes on your antenna or your mag mount or what have you, it's not going to be LMR 400, that's for sure. But yeah, I think there is several points to make about the length and wrapping it up. And we and the club, and there's a video on this about certain lengths of coax will respond differently on frequencies. So depending what frequency you're on, there is some magic involved with the length of coax and how it kind of reacts to the SWR and what have you. So yes, I do believe the people that are making these mounts do have the band in mind, the frequencies, and they give you that kind of length. I've heard people talk about don't coil it up too tight, and if you ever seen, some guys will make a homemade balun or a homemade choke, if you will. They'll grab a PVC. Camera's not high enough. Grab a PVC and wrap it around real tight. At that point, that's a really nice uniformed wrap job. I think at that point you will start changing it a bit. So yeah, a loose wrap underneath your floorboards or your carpets, I think those are all great points. And my family just came home. The garage door is open. So go ahead. Whoever else has a comment or a question. KM6FAK. Uh-oh.
Well, Jason, KM6YKX, Robin Auburn, running our watts up here. I'm thinking, I don't know, haven't heard from Nick or anybody else yet, but I don't know if Ted is out there or anybody. There's a bunch of people who like to try some simplex and then graduate to HF, so I don't know. Is it that time?
Yeah, I like what you're thinking, Rob. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half coming up, so yeah, that pretty much will conclude the net. Let me just open it up real quick before I shut it down to anyone else out there who wants to throw out a comment or question, a suggestion for the next live stream, or if you want to try to throw out your call sign, let us know you're there on an EchoLink. I know that can always be fun, so go ahead.
Double.
Oh no, who won? I didn't hear him. Okay, well go ahead, other station.
KN60AL, it might have been me. Sorry. Yeah, Rob, if you do jump on HF tonight, let me know. I'll probably poke my head in and say hi and see what I can hear. Like I said, my antenna is very about as compromised as you can really make it. So I don't have super high hopes. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if you guys end up down there in the bands, let me know and I'll jump in. Until then, I'll just be listening. KN60AL.
Okay, Nick. Yeah, well, it worked last night. You know, what did you talk about your antenna? How your compromised antenna? You said you had it laying on your fence. Talk about your antenna because it worked. So that's pretty cool. 900 miles, no problem.
I've got a question.
I heard that question. Go ahead. Let's let this guy jump in.
So I'm living in a house that I rent, and wondering where can I mount my antenna?
Okay, little scratchy. I'm thinking maybe something's in your way or not enough power, but I heard something about where should you mount the antenna. Could you repeat? Is this a house or a car you're looking to mount it on?
my house is a rental.
Oh, okay. Well, let me, I'll give you a few ideas and we'll see what other people think. So if it's a rental and you don't want to get, too crazy, a fence could always be an option. They're, typically wood, or if you have a shed, or also, how your house will have like an eave or the flashing to where the roof is, and in most cases that's wood. I think that works out as a great spot. You're not jeopardizing any of the tiles on the roof, or go down to Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, get a bucket, get a pole, could be a piece of conduit and some cement, and you could make something where you can pick it up and carry it around your yard, or you could even plant it in the ground in this bucket of cement and just kind of let it grow from there. Water it once in a while. Let's see what other people have to think or say about that.
Cam 6SRX.
And does it have a balcony?
TI5GLT.
And does it have...
All right, so one question, does it have a balcony? Another call in there, and then Will, I heard you. Go ahead, Will.
If it's like a 2-meter 440 antenna, and to build on your Eve comment, you can buy one of those J-arms for mounting a Dish TV or Dish Network antenna that would bolt onto the underside of the eave, and then the J hooks up over and puts the arm above the top of the roof line, and then you could mount your 2-meter 440 to that. And that's a easy, unobtrusive, and 4 bolts, and it comes off when you're leaving.
All right, good call, Will. The other station that broke in there, and then we'll get a reply if you have a balcony.
Okay, so no balcony, but the roof is also like on a second-story roof, so it's something I can't really get up to either.
Well, then that narrows your options down to either using the windows, or you can also use the glass on if you've got a sliding glass door. But from what I understand, if there's no balcony, you probably won't have a sliding glass door. So you'll be able to probably stick a 2-meter antenna out through a window area. If you can mount it to the outside, like a lot of people use the flag, the American flag basis that you put the piece of mast for the flag into and attach it. It screws to a post type thing. If you can use one of those, that would probably be the better thing, and then go ahead and make your antenna out from there.
Yeah, boy, so many options, so many ideas. Kevin in the chat mentioned spider beam fiberglass mast with vertical elements. And the idea of that, he says it could be taken down and gone portable. Yeah, it can be challenging if you don't own the residence and putting things up, but boy, I think a lot of people do it successfully. So yeah, just keep asking around. Anytime you're on the repeater or the radio, I think you could easily get 5 to 10 ideas every time.
Yeah, thank you for the great ideas. Those are really sounding really good. I like the bucket one, pretty good. I'll probably try that and then see how that goes.
All right.
I use this MFJ tripod, the big heavy-duty portable MFJ tripod. I don't know what the number offhand is, but DX Engineering or any other place there. F&X. We got Ben. You're so booming in here.
All right, good stuff. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'll let one last call for anything, and then I'm gonna close it down. So go ahead if anyone's got anything. This is KM6FAK on the Whiskey 6 VVR repeater, also EchoLink. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this other on another 2-meter crew anti-net. There's a funny story behind that, why we call it that. But kind of turns into a tech net, which is a lot of fun. You know, we just like to talk about radio, hash ideas out, learn a few things. I think I mentioned it a little bit ago. Next week is kind of a vacation week. Not really. A lot of kids aren't going to be in school. I, unfortunately, will be doing some adventuring in my RV, so I won't be here in my garage with the sheet that needs ironed. So if you can remember, the repeater will work, the EchoLink will work, but the YouTube won't be there. So feel free to jump in. I might be able to hit the repeater where we're going. We're not going too far away, so that'd be kind of fun. But no YouTube next week. I thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, being a part of this, asking questions. And, you know, go enjoy your radios. Get out there. Wake up those repeaters. All right. I'll say 7-3. Thank you for the Whiskey 6 VVR repeater and the local club here for allowing us to come on here and do this. And we will catch everyone later. So, good night. 7-3. KM6FAK.
KM6YKX. Thank you.
He likes to sing a lot, people.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Awesome job. KN6DAL.
Ah, you bet, Nick. You bet. You know, it's probably hard to realize. It's probably hard to know if I'm on the radio or if I'm just talking. You know, right now I'm just talking. I love this.
Nick, you want to go to 80?
Anyways, boy, when you're on ham radio, how many goodbyes do you say?
I do. I've got my hands
7-3
full of baby
David.
right now, so I'm going to need a
Kevin.
little bit of time. But
Javier,
it'll be a little, just a few minutes, and I'll see if I can jump on there.
Jennifer, thanks for stopping by.
I feel bad that
Although,
I usually was Carlos's backup.
I don't think it's really who you think it is.
I don't know if I can.
Tyler, Attic, he says. I like it. Possibility Attic. Man, great comments, guys. Right on. All right, I'm gonna hit this red button, and it's gonna go off. So we'll see you later. 7-3.
Help him out a little bit more, but that was awesome that Jason stepped in. But yeah, I will get on 80 here. Just give me